Alright, let's see if this works here. Hot Tub Cam 9000. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry if the video looks like poo-poo. I need to bring a light out here or something when I do this, because I only got one tiny little porch light and I forgot how to put a smaller bulb in it. So last time I shot video out here was a lot brighter because I had a lot brighter bulb over there on the porch. So I got to figure out how to get some better light out here when I'm shooting at night. But hands-free, baby. So I don't have to worry about my hands cramping up like usual. I'm using my wife's little holder that I got her for Christmas, and found out that it just clips onto the little bar that you use for getting in and out of the hot tub really well, and it just sits here and I can just lounge back in the chair and have a good time. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, but I'm betting it's probably decent audio, because other than the air conditioner running right up there, because Apple, for some reason, man, they got a really good algorithm when it comes to audio on the iPhone. It's fantastic. Like, it sounds great. I do have lights on the hot tub. Like right now they're like on a blue. One of them's green because I think one of the channels is burned out in it. So I got blue, 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 and then I got one that's like greenish blue. But it looks like the vast majority of the light is collecting from the porch. And I turned the exposure up to 100%, so I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't look all super grainy. I don't know. I can't tell looking at this little screen. But it's very dark out here, actually. So we'll figure it out as we go. First of all, the obligatory, I'm sorry it's taking me so long to shoot a jitter video. You guys know I've been having some problems lately. Nothing new. Just some stuff getting worse, some stuff getting better. The things that have gotten worse by far have been the chronic fatigue syndrome. So it's something the doctor said I had a long time ago, and it was one of those things where it wasn't terrible. Like it was one of those things where you just had a bad day here and there. But it's been constant now, and I think a lot of it has to do with just the weather and the winter and the seasonal change. So today I went and found my little Billy lamp that I have that puts out the same spectrum of light as the sun. It uses like special LEDs inside of it. They don't mix light between red, green, and blue like an LED panel. They actually put out like the pure light that's supposed to make your brain generate, I think it's vitamin E or something like that, to help wake you up. And I've actually been using it upstairs for about 2 hours before I got in here, and I actually feel more awake than I have in a while, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I think that's a good sign. So I'm going to start using that thing every day and see if that helps a little bit. It was so bad yesterday, guys. I was falling asleep everywhere. I fell asleep upstairs about a dozen times. I fell asleep sitting in bed. I fell asleep eating dinner. I fell asleep watching a show with my kid. And I was in and out the whole time. Me and my wife were watching a series called like Bridgerton or something like that. It's like some Queen Clarion or something like that. Hell, I wouldn't even know, because we watched an entire season and it seemed like 2 episodes for me, because I was just in and out the whole time. I was like, wow, it's already over? Holy crap. So, and my wife, she laughs all the time because she says, oh, you're snoring. Oh, you're snoring. I'll wake up. Oh, you're just snoring, even though I don't even know I went to sleep. It's very bizarre. And it doesn't matter how much sleep I get. If I don't get woken up by somebody and somebody gets me out of bed, I'll just sleep perpetually. Like even after 10 hours, I don't get to that point where I'm restless and I feel like I need to get up. I just always feel like I need to go to sleep. Oh, it just said my battery's almost dead? Oh, great. I thought I had like half a battery on this thing. My phone has been doing really shady stuff lately. I really need to get a new phone. I don't know how the hell I'm going to afford it, but I do need to get a new phone, because this iPhone 11 that I've had, this is like the longest I've had an iPhone without replacing it. The battery in it is getting eaten like constantly now by the Authenticator app. I have to make sure I close it, because if I leave the Authenticator app open, it just eats the whole battery in like 2 hours. I'm sure that's a bug in the firmware or a bug in the Authenticator app or something. It looks like it's just started to happen after this last update. But before that, I have to charge my phone like 2 times a day now to make it through the day. And that kind of sucks, and it's inconvenient as hell, and I keep forgetting it goes dead. So I definitely need something with a new battery if I'm going to be using this for recording videos in the future, which I obviously am. So I'm looking at the iPhone 14. I know the second I buy it, though, the iPhone 15 is probably going to come out in like a month, right? Like, I don't know when their release schedule is, but, should I just wait? Because I always end up getting the phone like right before the new one comes out, and it just seems like a silly waste. But if another one's going to come out this year, then I'll probably wait for it. If not, then I'll probably get it and then just next year figure it out. Hopefully I'll be in a better place. I got to go see my doctor next week for a blood draw, to check my testosterone level and to check my liver enzymes. And then I got to go see my pain doctor, I think on the 11th or the 12th, to talk about how my pain medicine's going and how the diet medicine's going that they gave me. The sad thing is the diet medicine is no good. I lost 14 pounds in like 5 days, and I was super excited. I was like, oh my God, finally I found something that works. But then I started getting more tired and more tired and more tired. And I looked online, and yeah, that medicine can cause pretty extreme fatigue. So on top of my already fatigue, that was making it way, way worse. And I can already tell I stopped taking it the last 2 days and I already feel much myself again. But in those last 2 days, I've gained back 8 pounds. So I think it was mostly water weight. I think it was just causing me to just expel all the water out of my body. And that's why I was losing weight. And then over time, maintaining just all that water out of your body or something probably messes with your metabolism, makes it so you starve or whatever and you lose weight. So I'm going to have to just do it the old-fashioned way with just eating less and getting some more exercise. The exercise is difficult, though, because everything hurts. My arms hurt, my hands, my wrists, so I don't even play video games anymore. And it's kind of pathetic and sucks. And I'd love to get back to playing video games again. I want to get my simulator back together. But it's like even trying to put stuff together, like working on the printer upstairs today when it failed like 3 prints in a row. I was tearing stuff apart on the printer. Even just trying to hold a screwdriver and twist it was just killing me. I had to take a million breaks to do it. So now I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this Voron build where it's like 250 parts that have to all have the fittings put into them and everything. It's going to be a slow process. I'm going to do it though because I love this printer so much, and my neighbor's going to help me put it together too so he can be a second set of hands. But it's like I look at that and I'm like, man, all this stuff I used to be able to do just super easy, it's like I took for granted, I can't do anymore, and it sucks. I got to force myself to drink water because my ADHD medicine, especially combined with that semaglutide stuff I was taking, was killing my thirst and my appetite completely, which is just weird. Like, I'd go an entire day without drinking water, and I'd be like, why am I all cramped up? I'd just get Charlie horses randomly. It's like, you know, you don't got any water in you. But yeah, anyways, got to go see the pain doctor, figure out what we can do about that. I am going to LTX this year. I'm pretty excited about that. So I am scared about going into a public place with a bunch of other people without a mask on. That freaks me out a little bit still, but I mean, at some point I got to pull the trigger. But I will be fully vaccinated again. I'm getting my 3rd or 4th vaccine. Hopefully when I go see the doctor on the 11th, if they have shots in stock. And so I should be better off joining the world. It's not going to be perfectly safe no matter what. And I already talked to my wife and kid. It's like they've been cooped up for so long and it's affected their mental health and everything that I'm now just letting them free. They're still going to be as safe as they can, but I want them to go back out in the world and do the things that they want to do and stuff like that. And we're just going to have to deal with it. And it's scary. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But, you know, on the flip side, I thought about it. It's like I used to get pneumonia every year, and I haven't had pneumonia in like 4 years. So it's like being cooped up, you definitely don't get the germs that you normally do out in the wild. So as long as we're being safe as we possibly can, it should reduce the risk, but it's not going to be gone entirely. No matter what, there's risk in life, right? There's risk in driving a car. There's risk in flying an airplane. You just have to look at the odds and the statistics and make the best decision that you can with the best cost-to-benefit ratio. But with all the vaccines in place and everything like that, I feel relatively safe as long as I'm conscious about constantly washing my hands and being careful not to be getting up in people's grill or go to a place that has, you know, a lot of people like spitting in each other's face and screaming and stuff like that. But I'm excited about LTX, really excited. I just texted Jay's 2 cents. I just texted him the other day and asked, you know, told him, hey, it's looking forward to seeing you at LTX. And he replied back, and we talked back and forth about stuff, caught up on a couple things. That felt really cool. I hadn't talked to him in about a year. Last text message that we had between us, I think, was in 2022, early 2022. It's been over a year. And so it doesn't feel like it, though. But I messaged him. We caught up on some things, so we're looking forward to seeing each other up there. That'll be a nice little reunion. Long time coming. But hopefully, you know, if we do start, you know, hanging out a little bit more and stuff, even if it becomes something public again to some degree, I just hope that people don't decide to destroy that by doing the whole, you know, Jay versus Jerry, or Jay's better, I don't like Jay, I like Jerry, I like Jerry, I don't like Jay, you know, or back forth, vice versa. I hope that crap just doesn't cause problems like it did last time, which ultimately ended Tech Talk and a lot of other stuff. So here's hoping, fingers crossed. But I'm really looking forward to that, though. It'll be cool to see Linus. I haven't seen Linus. I haven't seen Paul. I haven't seen Strange Parts since the last LTX Scotty over there. You know, a lot of cool people are going to be there. Like, who else? Epos Vox, he's going to be there. Oh, God, come on, brain. Who's the other guy? Theo Joe, he's going to be there. I mean, go look at even Joel's going to be there, who lives 40 minutes away from me, and I see him like once a year. And we usually meet up at events, but I stopped going to events during COVID, so we haven't seen each other in forever. So I'll probably see him for the first time in like a year up there at LTX, which is hilarious because we're both driving 3 hours north, and we'll see each other again and then come back down 40 minutes away from each other and then never see each other again. It's my problem, though. He tells me all the time to drop by the studio and to come hang out, and I'm always just feeling like crap. I haven't even started my car again. It's been a month. That's already been another month since I've started my car. And so it probably needs, the battery's probably flat again, because I didn't put the battery tender on it like an idiot. And the tires are probably flat spot again. Although the tires at this point probably need to be replaced. They're pretty old and pretty hard rubber, so I got to be careful. But the car just doesn't, it's insured and it sits there just consuming money, and I don't use it. And so I got to start driving it. So this summer I'm going to put some miles on it. I do need to get the clutch replaced still. The clutch is still a liability in that car. I wouldn't drive it a long distance or up any steep hills or anything like that unless I absolutely had to, especially if I had to stop. If I had to stop on a hill, that clutch isn't going to hold. Like, I don't know what, I'll have to back up, park it, and turn around. But yeah, I do need to get the clutch done on that. But everything that I need to do this summer requires money, so I need to figure out how to get that. Which means I got to start making YouTube videos again, and I got to figure out like sponsorships that make sense, that are people that I already love and work with, which is always harder. It's always harder to do a spot. You'd think it'd be easier, but it's harder, because it's like when you like a company and you use their stuff and you like their stuff, then you don't want to charge them anything, right? It's like you just want to use their stuff. And so it's, you know, it's difficult to have partners where you get paid. It's kind of like I've talked before about, like, you know, why I don't pay my moderators and why I don't pay friends, you know, when they want to be involved in my projects and stuff, why I don't pay them, or I find other ways to compensate them, is because anytime money comes into the picture between friends, it always ends up becoming some kind of a liability. Always. It's very weird. It does. It's just, it doesn't even matter the amount. It could be a little, it could be a lot. It doesn't matter. It creates friction. And growing up and working with my dad, it gave me a phobia about it. So I prefer situations where if I'm going to do a project with somebody, you know, I don't want to pay them. I don't want them to pay me. Whoever's sponsoring the video, they can pay us both if they want. Or in the case of like auxiliary with Tech Talk, we just split all the super chats. So, which still requires me to do some bookkeeping and stuff on my side, and I have to eat the taxes on it. He gets his money tax free, but which really puts me in a bad situation. But only because we're just not making that much. You know, I'm probably paying more in taxes than I actually make at this point. But, you know, the show must go on. I enjoy Tech Talk. I enjoy hanging out with him. And, you know, he's busy. You know, he's got to make money too. So it's like I definitely want to compensate him for his time. And but with that one exception, it's like, yeah, that's why I don't work with family. I don't work with friends professionally. It's got to be fun. It's got to be like people ask me, like, hey, if you have friends come and like run cameras and stuff for you, they got to be able to leave whenever they want. They got to be able to not show up and not feel guilty about it if they have something else come up. They have to be able to, if they don't want to do something, they don't have to do it. It's one of those things where it's like I have to feel like they are in charge. Like, if I am not paying them, I am not going to bark orders. I am not going to tell them what to do. If they ask me or they want me somewhere, I'm like, if you're okay with this or something like that, and they're having fun, yeah. Second it's not fun anymore, you go ahead and leave. One way or another, I will get it done. You know, it was going to be me in the first place, so it'll still be me in the end. That's fine. But I don't want anybody to have like any animosity towards me. I don't want anybody to feel like this was like a waste of their time. If it's not fun for you, I don't want you to have to participate. And I've always made that clear to everybody. And it's always worked out well, and I've never had any bad situations. The closest I think I ever had to a little bit of a tense situation was when me and Jay's 2 Cents did the Dirtfish Rally video. And it's because I went up there with the expectation that I was going to have a certain camera crew running my camera, like of my friends that were going to be there that I invited. And they decided to do Jay's car or do Jay's channel instead. And then the people that were assigned to me was a different group of people. And so I was a little thrown off by that, but it was one of those things where it was like, it was super early in the morning. I didn't feel good. And it just took a little to get me going. I was just kind of in a cranky mood. And then later on I thought about it and I was like, man, that was just stupid. That was stupid. But Graham and I, we went out back, hugged it out. Everything was good. I apologized. And it was a great day. It was an amazing day. Like Jay and I had so much fun. That was probably the funnest time that we ever had together. And the entire time that we knew each other was out there driving rally cars around this place and making our videos. And it was such an amazing time. And it was one of those things where it just in the morning, it just started off a little rough just because of a miscommunication on like which camera crews would be running who. And because we had people there that were really experienced on equipment, and we had people there that knew nothing about it and have never done it before. So it was just a little tricky, like dividing up everybody. But I also understand why a lot of people wanted to be shooting for Jay, because at the time, I don't think he was the bigger channel, but it's like everybody already knew I knew them and everything. So it was like a new opportunity to work with a new creator. And I could totally understand that. That was, you know, that was a huge opportunity for them, and I wasn't even considering that in my head. It's like, this is the time to go work with somebody else and to get a shout out, you know, from somebody else. And I'm like, dude, that's 100%, you should have that. And the truth is, the day turned out amazing. The shots all turned out amazing. All my shots, all his shots, all the video, they all look freaking phenomenal. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat if I fit in the damn car. So right now, I'm gearing up for the project of building a Voron 2.4 350 millimeter 3D printer from LDO Motors. They're the ones that make the kit. Voron designed the printer. LDO Motors makes the kit that I'm assembling. So they're the ones that bring together their own parts, their own motors, their own electronics package that they sell and everything. But there's a million kits from a million different places. So LDO Motors sent me the kit with the Raspberry Pi 4. I got all the material from Polymaker. They've been fantastic. They literally messaged me. They're like, oh, no contract? Don't even worry about it. Like, we don't even care. Like, here, have as much filament as you want for 2023. We'll back you up, whatever you need. Let us know, you'll have it. And Printed Solid, they're absolutely amazing. I've known them forever. Yeah, I met them back at 2014 Maker Faire, I think it was, World Maker Faire. And I love them. They're awesome people. And they sent me the enclosure kit for the Ultimaker 3 so I could print the ASA on it, because everything on this Voron has to be printed in ASA because it has to be a really high temp plastic, whereas PLA would just bend and fall apart and the printer would never print true. You need something that's like can handle a lot of heat, because this thing's gonna have like a 600 watt heated bed in it. And so he gave me the polycarbonate doors for the LDO printer for the Voron, and he gave me the enclosure kit with the door for the Ultimaker 3 so I can print all the parts for the LDO kit. And so I got Printed Solid on board, Polymaker on board. I'm using Vision Miner's nanoparticle. They didn't send that to me, but they did give it to me years ago at a convention. I never got a chance to try it, but it turns out it works amazing. If you're looking for something to bond prints to your build surface, I can't imagine anything would bond it any better than this. This stuff, I've had not a single failure. No matter how thick the part is in ASA or ABS, it will not pop off even a glass build plate, which holds less than just about anything else. It glues it to it. It's like there's no way it'll pop off. As a matter of fact, I want to do a print even without the enclosure, because I'm starting to think it might even work without the enclosure because it holds so hard. I don't think it'll be able to pop itself under heat. Might shatter the glass though, so I got to be careful. Those glass sheets are not cheap. Those borosilicate glass sheets. I think Ultimaker sells them for like 45 bucks or something. I think wholesale are like 25, 30. But they're supposed to be able to handle lots of thermal shock, but they're not really so good at handling the stress. But the Ultimaker has already had a problem. Today, it stopped communicating with the print head. It failed 3 times in a row. 2 times in the exact same spot, and another time like further along in the print when I rearranged the parts. But I think it's a loose cable in the print head. So what I did is I opened up the print head, and I noticed that the cable had some slack in it. So as the cable's moving around like this, it's kind of jarring it in and out and changing the angle. And so I wrapped it in Teflon tape and put the piece back on it and screwed it down so it's like really tight and squeezed in there. So it's like a strain relief. So I'm hoping with the strain relief, no matter how much it moves around now, the actual internal wires will stay exactly where they're supposed to be, and I won't have this problem anymore. But we'll see. It did finish one test print that I did, but before it was failing hours into a print. This was only a print that took about 2 hours. So I need to run a much longer print overnight to see if I hit the problem again. I also swapped the print cores. I had another print core that came with the printer that was clogged, that never worked. I dug through my 3D printing stuff and found a nozzle clearing jig that's got, or like these little keys that go up in the nozzle. Like they're all different sizes for different nozzles, although they bend really easy. It's basically a guitar string or piano wire. And so I stuck it up in there on, under like 300 degrees. I cranked it up to its max temperature and jammed up there, and I managed to dislodge the block that I never could get dislodged before. So I was like, ooh, this is some lucky stuff, right? So then I went through and I did cold pulls on it, and I pulled a bunch of trash out of it. So all the stuff that was clearly clogging it, I was able to fish out. And so it's clean and good as new. So right now it just went through an entire print using the unclogged print head and the secured cable, and I didn't have any problems. So I'm going to go back and look at the logs, see if there was any more disconnects with the print head. Because if it disconnects every once in a while, it doesn't affect the print. It's only if it disconnects for a period of time. And that's what was happening. So like we looked in the logs, there's like 5,000 disconnects to the print head in the log, which isn't good. So hopefully this solved that problem. If it does, then I'll feel confident doing another batch of parts tonight. We can continue on the Voron cranking parts out. If I can't get it printing reliably by tomorrow, then I'm going to pull out the Ultimaker 2 Extended and try to enclose it and start it printing while I work on trying to figure out, troubleshoot and fix the Ultimaker 3. So, but I got to keep parts printing because I'd like to start assembling this Voron towards the end of this month. And to do that and to get on track, I mean, I'm going to need another week or two of printing time. Just running plate after plate after plate, because I think it's 255 parts total that need to be printed. So it's a lot of parts. And then also, right before I did this, I went and, oops, don't fall over. Okay. So I went and installed, I already had it installed on my phone. It's called Filmic Pro. And it's a camera app that I use for recording on my cell phone that does way better than the internal app. It gives raw access to the cameras, front and back, the audio stack. You can record from audio behind or recording forward. It has all these different modes that you don't get in the iPhone app. And it's a phenomenal program. I used to use it all the time, and then I started just using the built-in camera app again because I got lazy, right? And so I decided I was going to go back to Filmic Pro. Since I was shooting out here in the hot tub, I wanted to do some of the effects and set the exposure and everything like that. To compensate for the light better. But I went to fire up the app and it pops up on the screen. And this is an app I bought in 2018 that I got a perpetual license for, that I paid $15 for, plus $20 for an add-on. That was like the cinematography kit. So I buy this thing, and there's about a 6-month period where I stopped using it. So I go to fire it back up, and it pops up and says, oh, you're not subscribed to Filmic Weekly or whatever. You got to pay $2.99 a week or $49 a year or something like that to use this application. And I was like, but I already bought it. So I had a thing at the top of the screen that said already purchased. So I clicked already purchased. And then it says, oh, we checked our database and you don't own this application. You know, if you want, you can run the Filmic Legacy application. I'm like, what the hell is the Filmic Legacy application? So I click on Filmic Legacy. It takes me to a different app in the store, not the one that I have installed, but a different app I have to download. That has a 1.3 star rating that says, this is Filmic 6.0 as of date, blah, 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 before we move to a monthly subscription-based model. I'm like, first of all, I bought a perpetual license when it was 5.0. You guys gave me 6.0. Remember, started at 1.0. Whoever bought 1.0 still had it all the way through 6.0, and we're supposed to continue to have it. The new Filmic Pro is 7.0. So they went up another version, right? But they're still calling it Filmic Pro. They're not calling it Filmic Pro 7 or Filmic Pro 6 or Filmic Pro 5. It's just called Filmic Pro because it's always been a perpetual license, and it's Filmic Pro 7. And they're like, well, to get 7, you have to pay $2.99 a week. And I'm like, okay, well, that's already bad as it is, because now you just said my perpetual license. I paid so that I could have all features and upgrades for a program called Filmic Pro for the life of Filmic Pro. And now you baited and switched me. I'm already pissed off about that. But what I'm even more pissed off about is the app that's installed on my phone that I use the bandwidth to download, that has my projects in it and everything, is now blocked. Like, my program is blocked because I have to upgrade to use it. But I can go download another app that wasn't already on my phone that I didn't purchase called Filmic Legacy, which is like the replacement app for the old one. And then that supposedly will give me access back to my app. Ooh, I'm down to 10% battery. I'll have to be careful. So, so they're like, okay, you can have Filmic Legacy. But the app says Filmic Legacy. So it's a different icon, different app name, Filmic Legacy. When you open it, it even says it's called Filmic Legacy. So I'm like, wait a second here. So in the new program, it's still Filmic Pro, but the version number is 7. But it doesn't say 7 anywhere. It doesn't say Filmic Pro 7. When you start it up, the app isn't called Filmic Pro 7. The icon doesn't say Filmic Pro 7. It just says Filmic Pro. So now my Filmic Pro icon, I own Filmic Pro. So I sent them a picture of my receipt, and I said, wait a second, guys. Look, I clearly bought Filmic Pro with this icon that says Pro on it for $15 from you in 2018. For the perpetual license, and the program with the same icon, same app name, and same store ID, and same already installed from the store. I no longer can use that unless I pay you more money now. I was like, that's BS. If you want to start charging a monthly fee for your app to maintain the name, you have to let everybody that already bought a perpetual license continue to use it, right? Or you have to change the name of your application, because it's not fair to go change the name of a product people already purchased. And that's exactly what they did. So the analogy here would be, to the people that are trying to think, oh, this is no big deal, everybody does this, it's fine. No, this is why it's not fine. If you went and bought a Mustang, if you went out and bought a Ford Mustang Cobra, now if you don't like Ford, this joke won't work for you. But if you, let's say you like Ford Cobra Mustangs, right? Or actually, here, let's do Dodge Viper. You go buy a Dodge Viper, right? You're like, it doesn't matter if it's a 1997, 1998, 1999. Like, for that model year, they make the same, it's the same car, right? Just new year, new year, new year. They make the same car. How would you feel if after like 2 or 3 years of you buying a Dodge Viper, whoa, shit, that scared the crap out of me. Oh man, sorry, the jet's kicked on to run the filter. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So, ooh, that scared me bad. Here, let me sit up a little bit. So imagine if you bought this Dodge Viper, right? And 3 years later, they tell you you have to bring the car in. They're like, hey, you got to stop driving the car. Hold on, bring it in. so they can rip all the badges off of it and put on there, instead of Ford Viper, it's Ford Worm or Gardner Snake or something stupid, right? It's like it's not the same product. Yeah, sure, it's the same car. It still could do it still do what it did before, but now you got to tell everybody that you own a Dodge Worm or you own a Dodge Gardner Snake. You don't own a Dodge Viper anymore. It's like part of you paying for the product is the name, right? Like when I run Adobe Premiere Pro, I want to tell people I run Adobe Premiere Pro. I don't want to tell them that I run Adobe Premiere Poor People Edition. And so that's why they had to move their name to Creative Cloud, right? It had to be CC, Adobe Premiere Pro CC. It couldn't just be Adobe Premiere Pro anymore. Or they couldn't change the name of Adobe Premiere Pro for everybody else to Adobe Premiere Stupid Poopy Pants. And so that made me mad. So, and I think rightfully so. So I sent them a tweet. Hopefully they DM me back, but they seem like the type of company that probably won't. And I want a perpetual license. Like, I'm going to tell them that's what I'll settle for. I don't want you to give me a month. I don't want you to give me a year. Give me a perpetual license to your freaking app. You can disable any online services. Like, if it's online connected and it comes with like free cloud or something like that, I don't want it. Turn it off. That's fine. But I paid for Filmic Pro, and I'm going to get Filmic Pro. Or their other option is they can change the name of their program to something else. They can change it to Filmic Ultra instead of Filmic Pro. That's fine. Other apps have done that before. You can buy Filmic Ultra. It's got new features and everything. And then if they don't want to upgrade Filmic Pro anymore, that's fine. But I bought Filmic Pro. I don't want my phone saying it has Filmic Legacy on it, like some freeware equivalent application, and it's not what I paid for. It's not what I want to tell people I'm using. So I'm curious to see how they handle this situation, because I just looked. I didn't look a ton, but I went on ChatGPT and I asked a couple of questions, and it looks like this would actually be in violation of the FTC's law. Because the FTC's law says when you sell a product as a name, that name means something. Like when you're buying a product, you're buying the name. You're buying the right to use and own that name in your product. So you're reserving the right to say, I own this. When you go to the DMV and you register your car as a Ford Mustang, you can't just go to the DMV and say now it's a Ford Pony or it's a Ford Donkey, because Ford decided they wanted to use the Mustang name for something else, so now you have to change the name of your car, and every other Mustang owner has to change the name of their car to something else. That wouldn't be allowed, because the DMV taxes you based on the price and the model, make and model and everything. So by them doing this, they really, really are taking a piss on people, because one, they're dishonoring the perpetual license that I signed up for. Two, they're renaming my application that I paid for so that they can take that name that I paid for and use it for something else that they're trying to sell to me again that I already own. And don't get me wrong, I understand if they want to change the version. If they want to change it to version, if they want to change, or not version, I understand if they want to change the product. They want to create like Filmic Online or Filmic Creative Cloud, go for it. Like Adobe did the same thing, right? That is their prerogative to do. But I am not okay with them stealing the name away from me. Like, I would be so pissed if I went and bought like all the Halo games, and then like every time a new Halo comes out, they're like, you have to go back and rename your Halo something else. Like I buy Halo, like the original Halo, like just titled Halo, and they're like, no, we're gonna use Halo again, and we're not gonna call it Halo 2 or Halo 3, we're gonna call it just Halo, and then everybody that had Halo has to name it to half a ring, or to free Halo or cheap Halo. Legacy Halo or Halo Legacy. That'd be stupid. That would be absolutely freaking stupid for a product that you paid for. So I'm curious to see what they do. I'm curious to see if they just reply back and say, okay, here's a license key for like a lifetime license or whatever, just to get me out of their hair. Or I wonder if they're actually going to stand their ground and be like, oh, okay, no, it's, you're already getting a discount for being an existing customer, and that's good enough. Because it does say on the screen that, because you're a loyal customer because you bought our last version or whatever, you can use this version for $2.99 a week. I don't know how much it is normally. Like, if it's more than $2.99 a week, that's ridiculous in my opinion. But they're like, oh yeah, we'll let you have this year or whatever for some amount. What the hell is that? Something fell on me that freaked me out. Ah! Unfortunately, the battery's almost dead in the phone, so I'm going to have to wrap it up here in a minute, because I don't want the phone to crash in the middle of a video, because it probably won't save it and I'll probably lose the whole thing. But I will be making more jitters, because I've definitely got a lot more to say on a lot of stuff going on right now. I just need to be more awake and alert. It's really, really difficult to talk to you guys and to like look at the camera when I can't remember what the next word is, and then I just nod off. Like, it's actually been a real struggle to try to do the live streams. The reason they've been happening so late is because it takes me that long to get like awake and alert and get moving to the point where I'm like, ooh, I got a window of opportunity. and then I throw myself at it, and then I crash off the end of a cliff right afterwards. So I got to figure out how to get more energy throughout the day, and I'm working on it. So I'm going to start with these lights. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to start sitting in front of these Billy lamp things or whatever to see if it helps with my vitamin E production and waking me up. And then I'm going to start to try to put myself on a hard schedule where it's like I turn everything off and just force myself to go to sleep, even if I just sit there and stare. Ooh, what the fuck is that? Hold on. Hold on. Ooh, was that a spider? What the fuck is that? Oh, that's a frog. There's a frog in here. Is that what fell in the hot tub? Oh, no way. Well, let me see if I can show you guys this. Hold on. Hopefully I don't botch the video. Ooh, almost. Look at this. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see that? Hold on, let's see. You see him? I can't see him because he's not facing me. Hopefully you guys can see him right there. Can you? I'll move it back and forth. Can you guys see him? Ooh, ooh. Ooh, he just jumped off. It scared the crap out of me. I almost peed my pants. Oh my god. I thought it was a giant spider. As you guys can probably tell by now, I'm not the biggest macho man when it comes to critters. So outdoors, I'm a little freaked out. Wow, he must have jumped out of the tree. Oh, it's raining a little bit. That's why. I bet you it spooked him. Yeah, I think that's what landed. Did you guys see what landed behind me when I was talking earlier? When I was like freaking out? I think it was a frog. I think he landed on me and he jumped up there and was like hanging on. Is it gonna start raining frogs now? Like, where'd he come from? Did he jump out of a tree or off the house? Oh, that just freaked me out, guys. This just freaked me out. Oh my god. Well, I am going to be streaming. Let's see, today's Sunday. Well, yesterday was Sunday. Today's Monday, but I stay up on during. I'm up every day. I'm up past 2 days because I usually I wake up at like 3 p.m. and then I'm up till like 6 a.m. I got to stop doing that. But I am streaming today. Probably going to be more realistically around 5 or 6 p.m. And then hopefully we can start working our way back towards 3 p.m. because I got to stream earlier in the day. It's just I got to get awake and I got to get streaming earlier in the day. And I'm hearing like branches and shit now. This is freaking me out. Guys, I am sorry, but I'm going to cut this jitter just a little short. I know I normally talk for about an hour after I say that, but there's some noises and stuff going on that are freaking me out, so I got to get the fuck out of here. All right, guys, I'll see you later.